Hi everyone, I'm Cameron. I'm one of the consignor trainers for the RI Kids Consignment Sale, and today we're going to talk about how to prepare and hang your items. So first things first is obviously gathering the stuff that you're going to be selling at the sale. Everyone has a different way of doing it. I tend to sort my kids' clothes off season and then put them into bins, and then I pull them out and I'm ready to consign. So a few things you'll need before you start are, of course, the first thing is a wire hanger. We have to use wire hangers. They fit nicely on the racks. They're all the same basic size and shape so that they don't cause havoc when we're trying to slide the clothes around. And some other things you might need are some safety pins, and then if you choose to use a tagging gun, you can have one of those. So first things first is the wire hanger. So when you're hanging, when you're looking at the wire hanger towards you, it should look like a question mark. So obviously this is pointed away from me right now, but when I'm hanging my items, I want to turn it and face it so that it looks like a question mark to me. That way all the clothes are hanging the same way and the tags stick out to the correct side. So I will start with just a shirt. So I just have a regular shirt. I'm going to face it toward myself, put it onto the wire hanger. Next thing, if it has buttons or anything, zippers, make sure that they're all in working order and that they're zipped and buttoned up. So I'm going to button the buttons on this shirt. And so this shirt is now completely hung and it's all ready to go. So I'm going to set this to the side. A boy's shirt, same thing. This one has a lot of buttons, as you can see. So I'm going to set it down, put in the hanger. If you find that you have smaller items where the hangers don't really fit through the armholes, feel free to bend the hangers. You never want to stretch the neck hole or the arms of the garment to fit the hanger in. These hangers are pretty bendable, so just bend them and then you can always bend them back when you're finished. So I'm going to just make sure that all of my buttons are buttoned. And then that shows the buyer that the garment is in good condition, all the buttons are there, and it just looks more presentable. So you're going to want to buy something, that's more visually pleasing to your eyes. So you can see on here I have the tag already in place. Some people choose to tag their items before they hang them. Some people hang them first and then tag them. It's completely up to you. You always want to tag through the tag in the back if you possibly can. If that's not available, sometimes it's printed on the garment, then you can attach it through a shoulder seam, so here, or the under the armpit seam. You always want to go through the seam, never through the shirt. People will pin things right to the front of the shirt and it leaves giant gaping holes, and you don't really want your clothes to look like that. So just make sure that you are keeping in mind when you're hanging and tagging your clothes, do I want to buy something that looks like that? So if you don't want to buy things with large holes in them, then obviously let's not do that for everyone else. So like I said, hanging out so that people can see the tag. And then another question we get is how to hang things like shorts and pants. So here I have a pair of shorts. I'm going to start by buttoning the button. Obviously this one has a little clip, and zipping it up so that it's all set. Then I'm going to take my hanger, and it looks like a question mark to me. I'm going to lay it down, lay the shorts on top of the hanger, and then you get your safety pins. So you never want to hang from the bottom. They'll just slide around and then end up to one side in the racks, and it's never good. So you're going to lay it on top of the hanger. Try to find a place in the top that is going to leave the least likely to leave holes in your garment. Get another safety pin. Put it through the seam in the top. So as you'll notice, it's hanging around, this part of the hanger. And then that way, if I shake it back and forth, it's going to stay right there And now the shorts are hanging and they're, you know, they look really good. And what you're going to want to do for the tag on this one is stick it in the side seam, or again, you know, if you can possibly put it in this tag, you can do that as well. So one thing we get asked is, you know, how do you hang things that are really likely to fall off of a hanger? So here I have a bathing suit. You know, I'm going to take this and put it on my hanger, and then, you know, this one is a little less flimsy than others, but some have those really small straps and things like that. So what you can do to keep this in place is if you have a really large safety pin, or you can do this with a zip tie. You never want to go through the garment, but you can attach the back straps together, just like that. So now it looks sort of like a razor back, and it will hold it in place. And now it's not likely to fall off the hanger, and it will it'll stay on really well. And so for these, obviously, you know, when you're going to put the tag on, you want to do it through the side seam. So people always ask, how do you do sets? So a set of 2. Let's start with this shirt that I've already hung. And first, the most important thing about sets is that they need to be the same brand and the same size. So here I have a Gymboree top, size 3T, Gymboree pants, size 3T. I'm going to make sure that they're the same. I mean, you can match things up together, but you want them to really be an outfit. A lot of kids wear different sizes in their tops and bottoms, so some people don't really like to sell sets. It's up to you, but if you're going to sell a set, make sure it's a set. So what we do is you have your hung shirt. You're going to turn it facing away from you, and you want to be looking at the front of your pants. So you're going to lay them down over the back. So now you would have the shirt and the pants like this. And again, you're going to get your safety pins. I try to pin pants, you know, sometimes you can get them underneath the belt loop. And you never want to pin them through the shirt. See how I attach to the hanger and not through the shirt? The shirt is staying on there, and the pants will too. You don't need to go through the shirt. It just, like I said, leaves holes, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going to do another one for here on this side and hook it to this side. So now you have a set where you can see the front of the shirt and the front of the pants, and it's all set. And you see on here I have like a couple little strings dangling. I'm going to want to take that and snip those off. You want obviously your clothes to look as presentable as possible, so if you see anything like that, little things that you need to fix, you know, it makes them look better, makes them sell better. So you can just, you know, clip little strings, anything that you see that's out of place. I don't iron my clothes, to be honest with you. They're just going to get squashed together with a bunch of other clothes on the racks, so there's no need to iron them. I mean, if they're a crumpled mess, by all means, you know, spritz them, throw them in the dryer, and they'll be fine. So here's an example of something I've tagged through the side seam. So if you'll notice, it's directly through the seam and not through the garment. And this is a set with a dress and a pair of bloomers. So I would hang this. Let me grab a different one here. So to hang this, I'm going to do just like I would. Have it be facing me, question mark, put it on here. You know, like I said, if you have a problem getting it through, don't hesitate to bend the hanger. And then now I want to attach the bloomers. So I'm going to turn it over. Make sure that the bloomers, the front side is facing me. Get smaller bobby or safety pins this time because I don't need super large ones for this. And obviously the smaller the safety pin, the smaller the holes are going to be. So if you have delicate items, small items, by all means try to use the smallest safety pin possible. I'm going to pin through here, attach it, and now I have my item attached with my tag on it. And you see they are all on the left side, so when they're hanging all on the racks like this, and they're all hanging this way, and the tags will be facing all the same direction, so they'll be easier to, you know, to go through. You'll be able to see the different prices of your items. So that's how we do the tagging for, you know, shirts, pants, bathing suits, sets. If you had a hat possibly that went along with this set, then you could also pin that to the back. You never want to pin to the front. You know, the thing you're looking at is, oh, how cute is that dress? you're like, oh yeah, it has bloomers in a hat, but what you really want to see is the item that you're buying. So they would attach the hat to the back side. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, make sure you just send an email to rikidsquestions@gmail.com and we'll help you out. Thanks.